Most people say they want strength, but what they truly want is the feeling of strength without the burden of becoming strong. They admire discipline, but they do not love the discipline itself. They speak of courage, yet they quietly arrange their lives to avoid every moment that would demand it. This is the first truth you must understand: the desire for power is common, but the willingness to be shaped by hardship is rare. Strength is not granted, it is carved. Look carefully at how most people live. They wait for motivation before they act. They wait for the right mood, the right energy, the right moment, but the right moment is an illusion created by comfort. The mind that waits for perfect conditions is a mind that fears resistance, and fear disguised as patience is still fear. The path of real power begins when you act without waiting to feel ready. When the body is tired, you move. When the mind resists, you continue. When comfort calls you backward, you step forward anyway. This is how strength is formed, not through dramatic moments, but through quiet, repeated victories over your own reluctance. Understand this clearly: the process that creates power is not pleasant, it is repetitive, it is uncomfortable, it is often invisible. There is no applause for waking early when no one watches. There is no praise for choosing effort when ease is available. There is no recognition for resisting temptation when surrender would be easier. Yet these unseen decisions shape the structure of your mind more than any grand achievement ever could. Most people avoid this process because it feels slow. They crave transformation that is immediate and visible. They want to feel powerful today, but true strength is built like stone walls, one deliberate placement at a time. No single moment appears impressive, but over time, something immovable emerges. You must learn to respect repetition. Repetition is not punishment, it is refinement. Each time you face resistance and continue forward, you teach your mind a lesson: discomfort does not control you. Each time you act despite hesitation, you weaken the habit of avoidance. Each time you endure what is difficult without complaint, you sharpen the blade of your will. But here is what few understand: the greatest resistance is not physical, it is internal. Your mind will attempt to negotiate with you. It will offer reasonable excuses. It will speak in a calm and logical voice. It will say you deserve rest. It will say tomorrow will be better. It will say this effort is unnecessary. It will say you have already done enough. This voice is not your ally. It is the guardian of your comfort, and comfort is the enemy of growth. You must become skilled at recognizing this voice without obeying it. Do not argue with it, do not debate it, simply act while it speaks. Action silences doubt more effectively than thought ever will. Another truth you must accept is that strength is not always dramatic. Often it feels quiet. Sometimes it feels heavy. Sometimes it feels like persistence without reward. Many abandon the path here because they mistake discomfort for failure. They believe that if growth were working, it would feel easier. But growth does not remove difficulty, it changes your relationship with it. The weight does not disappear, you become capable of carrying it. This is why hardship must be chosen, not avoided. When you deliberately place yourself in difficulty, you gain familiarity with resistance. What was once overwhelming becomes manageable. What was once frightening becomes ordinary. What was once unbearable becomes simply another part of the path. The one who avoids hardship remains fragile because every challenge feels new and threatening. The one who seeks hardship becomes steady because nothing feels unfamiliar. You must train yourself to welcome what others flee. Wake before comfort is finished with you. Continue after motivation has faded. Remain steady when progress is invisible. These moments are not obstacles, they are the forge. Many believe strength is proven in moments of crisis, but crisis only reveals what daily discipline has built. When pressure arrives, you do not rise to the level of your hopes, you fall to the level of your training. If you have trained yourself to avoid discomfort, you will avoid it when it matters most. If you have trained yourself to endure, you will endure without hesitation. This is why the process cannot be skipped. There is no shortcut to mental hardness. There is no technique that replaces lived resistance. There is no philosophy that substitutes for repeated action. Understanding strength is not the same as possessing it. Speaking about discipline is not the same as living it. You become strong by doing what weakens the habits of weakness. And weakness is not loud, it is subtle. It is the extra hour of sleep, the delayed decision, the unfinished task, the quiet surrender that no one else sees. These small permissions accumulate, shaping the mind into something soft and easily moved. But the opposite is also true. Small acts of discipline accumulate. Each completed effort strengthens identity. Each moment of persistence reinforces control. Each decision to continue when stopping is easier reshapes who you are. Identity is not declared, it is constructed through repetition. If you repeatedly choose comfort, you become someone ruled by comfort. If you repeatedly choose effort, you become someone who commands effort. This transformation does not require intensity every moment. It requires consistency beyond emotion. Some days you will feel strong, some days you will feel nothing, some days you will feel resistance in every movement. These differences do not matter. What matters is that action remains unchanged. Consistency is greater than intensity because intensity fades, but consistency reshapes reality. And here lies the truth few are willing to accept: becoming strong is not a single decision. It is 1,000 decisions made when no one is watching, when nothing is celebrated, when the reward is distant or invisible. The process feels ordinary, even dull. But within this ordinary repetition, extraordinary resilience is formed. Those who cannot tolerate this quiet shaping abandon the path. They search for easier methods, faster results, softer roads. They chase the image of strength while avoiding the work that creates it. That is why only a few become truly unshakable. They are not different by birth, they are different by tolerance. They can endure the process others reject. They can remain where others retreat. They can continue when progress cannot yet be seen. If you wish to stand among them, you must stop seeking the feeling of strength and devote yourself to the practice of becoming strong. You must learn to respect effort more than comfort, repetition more than excitement, discipline more than desire. Because strength is not something you achieve once. It is something you practice every day. You refuse to turn away from what is difficult. And the moment you embrace the process instead of resisting it, you step onto the path where only the relentless remain. Fear does not vanish simply because you wish it to disappear. Many believe courage means living without fear, but this is a misunderstanding that weakens the mind before any true test even begins. Fear is not an enemy that can be destroyed. It is a signal, a sensation, a movement within the body that arises when something feels uncertain, dangerous, or unknown. To attempt to eliminate it completely is to fight against your own nature, and a warrior who fights his own nature is already divided. The goal is not to remove fear, the goal is to see it clearly. When fear appears, most people react without awareness. Their breathing changes, their thoughts scatter, their imagination begins painting images of failure, pain, embarrassment, loss. The body tightens, the mind rushes. In this storm of reaction, clarity disappears, and when clarity disappears, fear grows larger than reality. But fear is not powerful by itself. It becomes powerful only when the mind becomes confused. Clarity is what weakens fear. Clarity is what turns chaos into information. Clarity is what allows you to stand still while others retreat. To understand this, you must first learn to observe fear without immediately responding to it. When the sensation rises, the tightening chest, the restless thoughts, the urge to avoid, do not run from it, do not suppress it, do not pretend it is not there. Instead, watch it as you would watch a storm gathering in the distance. Notice its shape, notice its intensity, notice how it moves through you. When you observe without reacting, something important happens. The mind separates from the sensation. You are no longer asterisk inside asterisk the fear, you are looking at asterisk it. And what you observe clearly cannot control you completely. Most fear is made not of present danger but of imagined outcomes. The mind moves forward into futures that do not yet exist and reacts as if they are already real. It creates suffering from possibility. It constructs defeat before any action has even begun. Clarity brings the mind back to what is real. What is actually happening in this moment? What is truly in front of you? What can be done now with the body you have in the place you stand? These questions dissolve imagined threats and return you to immediate reality. And reality is always more manageable than imagination. A clear mind does not ask, "What if I fail?" A clear mind asks, "What is the next action?" This shift is small, but its effect is immense. Fear thrives in abstraction, it weakens in precision. You must train your attention to narrow when pressure rises. Instead of seeing the entire mountain, see only the next step. Instead of confronting the entire battle, face only the movement before you. When awareness becomes specific, fear loses the vast space it needs to expand. But clarity is not something you command once. It must be cultivated daily in moments both small and large. When irritation arises, observe it. When anxiety appears, observe it. When doubt whispers, observe it. Each moment of observation strengthens your ability to remain steady when greater fear arrives. If you cannot remain calm in small disturbances, you will not remain calm in great ones. The mind trained in stillness during ordinary moments becomes stable during extraordinary pressure. Another truth must be understood: confusion feeds fear faster than danger itself. When you do not understand what is happening, when you do not understand yourself, when you do not understand the situation before you, the mind fills the emptiness with imagined threats. Ignorance multiplies fear, understanding reduces it. This is why preparation and awareness are inseparable from courage. When you study your environment, when you study your own reactions, when you learn through direct experience rather than assumption, the unknown becomes known. And what is known rarely terrifies as deeply as what is imagined. But clarity requires honesty. You must see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. Many people distort reality to comfort themselves. They exaggerate threats to justify avoidance, or they deny risks to protect pride. Both are forms of blindness, both weaken the mind. To be clear is to be truthful about danger, about weakness, about capability, about limitation. Truth stabilizes perception, and stable perception prevents emotional chaos. Understand also that fear often comes from attachment to reputation, to outcome, to comfort, to survival, to control. The more tightly you cling, the more you tremble when loss becomes possible. But when the mind loosens its grip, fear loses leverage. If you accept that discomfort may come, discomfort loses surprise. If you accept that failure is possible, failure loses its terror. If you accept uncertainty, uncertainty loses its sting. Clarity includes acceptance, not passive surrender but recognition of reality without resistance. When you stop demanding that life behave according to your preferences, you become less disturbed when it does not. A clear mind is not empty, it is steady. It is grounded. It does not rush ahead and it does not shrink back. It sees, understands, and acts without unnecessary movement. This steadiness gives rise to something deeper than courage. It gives rise to composure. Courage can still tremble. Composure remains balanced even while fear is present. It does not require the absence of fear, it requires understanding of it. When clarity becomes your habit, fear transforms. It no longer appears as an overwhelming force. It becomes a signal that attention must sharpen, that awareness must deepen, that action must become precise. Fear becomes instruction instead of obstruction. You begin to notice something remarkable. The sensations still arise: the quickened breath, the alert body, the heightened awareness. But instead of chaos, these sensations now serve you. They energize focus. They sharpen perception. They prepare you for movement. What once felt like weakness becomes readiness. This is why those who master clarity are not free from fear, they are free from confusion. And freedom from confusion is far more powerful. When the mind is clear, you do not waste energy resisting what you feel. You do not waste time fighting internal storms. You remain present, you see what must be done, and you do it without unnecessary hesitation. Others will say you are fearless, but that is not true. You simply see clearly enough that fear no longer leads you. And when fear no longer leads you, nothing within you can force you to retreat.